Hi, this is Christopher Schwannen from Noble Master Games. Today I'm going to talk about tactics. I'm going to introduce to you the GRA tech. That's a technology focused on stealth. If you'd like to play that, let's see. Here in the information panel we can get more details. Here we see the tech listing, what kind of structures and troops they can build. For structures, most are shared with other factions, but here we have a factory that can produce cloaked troops. What's also special is we can build landmines that are cloaked, that are not visible unless you get close, similar to the regular landmines, but they're just invisible. And last but not least, we have an orbital laser, which we can build. It's a little bit expensive, but maybe you want to build it and you have a lot of assets, and just go for it. I have the laser already set up here and you can access it here. I'm not gonna use it just yet, but let's start with the troops. Here in the barracks we can build spies and we can also build cloaked agents. Let's build two. The cloaked agent, the spy looks a little bit like a tree when it's not moving, and then it looks like a soldier when it's moving. So you can move it to enemy lines, behind enemy lines, and let's just sit it next to trees, and it's gonna be difficult for the enemy to know that's a tree. But dogs can sniff it out. And the AI kind of knows it too. Then the cloaked agent is cloaked, not visible unless it's attacking or in range of a Omni radar that is able to detect those troops. Yes, let's try to maybe send them to enemy territory.
Rally set. Rally set.
To do that, we also build a cloaked Chinook, which is also not visible unless you're in radar range. And let's load them in and then send them over to the enemy territory. I mean, they're good to spy on the enemy and staying undetected unless, yes, the enemy has a radar at the right place. And I already played before. I mean, I know the enemy is over here. And let's move the Chinook and drop the troops. What I can also do, the Chinook moves there, unloads the troops, and I can set it to go back. That way we drop the troops and the Chinook goes back into safety. Maybe let's land him back here when it's done. And to speed things up. Yes, infinite speed. So now the Chinook unloads the troops. Once that's done, it goes back to where we told it to go. And now maybe let's check out the enemy territory. So here we see, yes, again the AI is a little bit able to detect our regular spy, but it's not that easy with the regular, what do you call it, with the other humans. But here, let's see, we can attack ourselves, but it might be a little bit difficult with all the tanks around. But what we can do is we use the orbital laser and just try to destroy that mining location, and it's gone. And now our spy can move around, see if we find some more to attack later. And as I said, we can also attack manually, but as soon as we do, we're gonna be visible to the enemy.
You got it.
So yeah, we can do sabotage to buildings, but I don't think we're gonna make it long. So that was it. But yes, maybe for spies, it's nice to have them in the enemy territory and use secondary weapons, maybe what do you call it? Maybe a bomber to come in, and then the bomb or satellite that can strike. So next, we don't have any special robotics, But here we have the cloak factory, and we can build cloaked troops. We can build, for example, cloaked harvesters or cloaked uranium miners. Maybe let's build 2 uranium miners, and they can mine the uranium here in the middle. And also they're not visible to the enemy, so we can mine in peace unless they're damaged. All cloaked or stealth troops that are damaged become visible. So try to not get them damaged. And we can transport them here. We also have a heavy airlift. We can transport them with the heavy airlift. Move them here. Speed it up a little bit. So yes, let's move those miners into the heavy airlift. They can fit a maximum of 2, and drop them off here to start mining. And the same as before, we can send the heavy airlift into the zone and make him come back once it's all done and unloaded. Also, let's speed it up a little bit. You don't want us sitting here for hours waiting for it to arrive. Now they'll know that the heavy airlift goes back, and the miners, they're gonna start mining the uranium over there. Yeah, no, the pace of the game might be a little bit slow, but usually you're not just doing one thing at one time. You're, for example, moving miners over here. At the same time you're attacking the enemy, and also you're building troops or building up your base more. So all considered, it's at times at the beginning it can be a little bit slow, but then once you have more troops that you have to control, it gets a little bit more intense. And yes, in single player you can speed up everything as you see fit. So what else we got? So we got cloaked battle tanks, they're strong against structures, and cloaked missile tanks, which are strong against flying troops. Then next, what else we got? Wait, we have another unit here. That's the jeep. It's not really useful in most games because it basically just fast, and you can transport for example robots, or you can transport soldiers. But if you play capture the flag, this jeep is actually pretty fast, so you can capture the flag and move it back to the base pretty quickly, while tanks are usually much slower. I mean, tanks can pick up the flag, but with a jeep you go much quicker. But it doesn't really do a lot of damage. I mean, it's only useful generally for places where you need to move in quickly. Also, the problem is it gets damaged if it runs into trees, so you have to be careful. But it can't take a lot of damage. It would take a while for it to get destroyed. I mean, it probably gets destroyed by enemy fire earlier. Then I think one more. Here we saw we have 3 cloaked planes, like the reconnaissance plane. We have a strategic EMP bomber that is also cloaked, like does EMP damage. And then we have a regular strategic bomber that's carrying a singular warhead. And here, if we take the reconnaissance drone, we can set it, for example, to scout the area. We just give it a different couple paths to the map, also to enemy territory. But again, if there's a radar close by that detects cloaked troops, it might be shot down. It doesn't have any weapons. If we go here, it's not that weak, but not that quick. There's a long range. You could probably go around the map a couple times, but yeah, it doesn't do any damage. It's just for reconnaissance. What's more interesting though is that's our, let's see, our stealth bombers. And now we have selected all, so this one is included in the selection, we just remove them from the squad. And our stealth bombers, let's send them into enemy territory and see if we can do some damage. I guess the enemy's around here. And also we should probably speed it up, otherwise it's gonna take ages. Not ages. But yeah, you're probably gonna do other things at the same time. So here, that's our EMP bomber, and that's our regular bomber. As soon as they drop the bomb, they become visible. You see the EMP pulse blocked the oil refinery, but we got shot down already, and the guy that was flying the plane is gone too. So you might not want to go into deep enemy territory, or you might want to combine them with an additional bombers. So if you have 4 bombers attacking, it's much better than maybe just one. And you can actually destroy buildings. And yes, that's basically it. That's the GRE tech stuff, how you can use it and try to go for victory. Thanks for watching.